Welcome back to the show, Larry, Mike, and Brad, as we are heading into here the second weekend in May. And we've been talking about here at the top of the hour, and we hinted about it last week. Brad, a couple of weeks ago, you threw out a hint as well, but here is the big news. So the WNBA right now is just having unprecedented attention and growth, and it's been a lot of fun to watch all this. Yours truly will be the new studio host for the WNBA on Ion Friday night game of the week. Ion, by the way, the network that's owned by Scripps and is run by Scripps Sports, they will have more, or we will have more WNBA games this season than any other network. So every Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time, set your clocks. And joining me now will be the two amazing, talented young people who will be joining me every single weekend. And I'm so excited to work with them, Meghan, McKeown, and Autumn Johnson. Congratulations first that you're on the show, and welcome here to our show. I want to first talk with both of you. Meghan, I'll start with you. Since you've been on the show before, we've talked with you before.
Friend of the program.
That's right. You're a friend of the program, and Autumn will be too. We'll get her on again. But talk about just in terms of this project and how excited you are to be a part of this.
It's absolutely amazing in terms of outside of ESPN, there really isn't a studio show for the WNBA. You are coming off of back-to-back years of unprecedented growth in the women's college game. And now there's a ton of momentum as we head into this WNBA season. I'm so honored to be a part of this. As somebody who has grown up around women's basketball my whole entire life, it's never been this big before. And I have had so many people wanting to talk shop and able to name some players outside of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. They can name some actual WNBA current stars right now. So it's amazing to see coverage continue to grow as our sport continues to absolutely explode.
Yeah, women's basketball is in demand right now, and it's so exciting to be a part of. Coming off a historic March Madness tournament, a historic draft class, there's just so much momentum right now. And I just think that these stars and the storylines that we're going to get this season is ready to meet the moment. I'm super honored to be a part of this new show that we're having for the studio show and to work alongside you guys just to see how this season unfolds. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot of fun together. So I'm ready for it.
I totally agree with that. And one thing I think we should, and Autumn, I'm going to start with you first on this, is we've had our meetings, right, leading up. People think you just turn the camera on and we're on, but this has been like weeks and months in advance planning.
Yeah.
It's been so hard not to talk about it. But tell everyone listening about what you think will make our show different. And obviously, we're doing a lot of different specialty things to make sure we tell, as you just pointed out, the full story.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the fact that we're coming in and bringing a show that's dedicated to women's basketball is unique in itself. And we'll have storylines galore and just really focusing on these athletes on and off the court. We'll have future stories promoting these incredible women who are not just stars on the court, but like they're leaders in our community, they're mothers. And I'm excited to share that side of them as well. So we'll have that showcase every single Friday, which I mean, just to have a show that you can know that, hey, every Friday I can turn on the TV and watch X, Y, and Z and learn about this star other than the main stars that we always talk about. I'm really excited to just educate more fans on what this game offers.
Meghan, how about you? Your thoughts, the same thing of this in terms of what you both have been a part of so many different studio shows. You both are young, but very experienced. And so I think you guys really bring a lot of excitement to this.
There is a lot of excitement. Obviously, Larry, you're a legend, which we are very excited to work along someone who's our point guard in a sense, who is so experienced and you've been on every stage. So it's going to be amazing having you involved in this. And then Autumn and I have worked together at Big Ten Network for the last 3 years. So to be at a point in our careers where we're growing with each other is really cool. Autumn's become a very good friend in the industry, and I'm just excited to be with her. We have great chemistry. Larry, you and I have been able to get to know each other over the course of the last couple of years. So we're just going to have fun. Yes, obviously there's going to be an educational purpose about the game. There's going to be some features, but I'm just excited to kick it with you guys every Friday night and be able to share some laughs and share and bond over this sport that we love so much that we have the opportunity to continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. First, thank you. That's you. But I agree as well that when we first began putting this together and the team was assembled and we began to talk, and like you said, Megan, I knew you and trying to get to know Autumn here in recent weeks as well. I look forward to, I think, again, the energy of this. And I'm a big fan of both of yours. I've watched you for years. That's why I'm so excited to get to work with you. And even I think your chemistry is going to really come out and your knowledge of the game. It's one thing that really stands out anytime both of you are on camera. You guys really know the game and know how to tell stories, and in TV know how to do that succinctly. And that's something too. It's one thing just to sit and talk for 5 minutes, but sometimes you don't have 5 minutes. So as you guys both know in TV, let's talk about the season here. As again, we're talking about the WNBA show on Ion Friday nights beginning on next Friday, the May 17th, and runs through the entire season all the way through the regular season into September. And I believe we may have some playoff games as well. We'll deal with that when that comes. But talk about the season that obviously we're already seeing some preseason games. Caitlin Clark, certainly the name everyone's following. But as you said, I think it gives a chance to see some other players. We forget that, Brianna Stewart is the reigning MVP, and can the Aces do the three-peats? And we see this week where in Houston, they want to bring the Comets back that were disbanded years ago. Talk about maybe some of the fun storylines you're looking forward to here in this 2024 season.
The Las Vegas Aces right now are the team to beat, continue to be, and a team rather that's so dominant. Candace Parker announcing her retirement a couple of weeks ago, last week maybe it was.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. She was hurt for in the postseason last year, so they had to learn how to play without her, but still you return Kelsey Plum, Asia Wilson, some of those studs. They're going to be a team to beat. I'm excited to see how the rookies do this year. Not just Caitlin Clark, but how does Angel Reese do with Camila Cardoso in Chicago? Cameron Brink, Rakia Jackson, some of these players that still, officially need to make the team per se. I'd be shocked if they didn't. But I'm excited to see how these names that have drawn a lot of attention to the sport and are going to bring a lot of attention to the WNBA, how do they adjust to the speed, the strength, the physicality, the quickness of the pro level? How long is that going to take?
Yeah, I was taking a look at some of these preseason games and the ones that are televised, but these rookies, they look comfortable. They look like they're ready for the moment. Angel Reese almost had a double. Caitlin Clark had 21 points, 5 threes at that. Rakia Jackson, she was already pro ready at Tennessee. Just to see them come in and make an immediate impact. As competition gets tougher and tougher, I'm excited to see how they'll adjust. But for the most part, I was pretty impressed of how they came in. So I'm excited to see how they grow and just learn every single day and adjust in this league. That's the best of the best. You're competing against every single day. But I'm also excited for the new teams we get to talk about, like Seattle Storm. They were in the quiet space a little bit because Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart, that era without them, they missed the playoffs. But to come in and bring Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ogwumike also coming in and joining alliances with her, and the leading scorer in the WNBA, and Jewel Lloyd, that's going to be so much fun to watch. And it's not going to be like, okay, we know who we're going to see in the end, Las Vegas Aces, New York Liberty. Everyone's knocking at the door. I would even put Phoenix Mercury in there as well, bringing in Natasha Cloud, Diana Taurasi, just how she's looking to end her season, the legend she already is, BG, you name it, like the talent that there is across the board. It's hard to say who's going to be the downright champion, even though I think it is the Aces when it's said and done, but I think a lot of people will be gunning for that top spot.
I completely agree. And you look at what Seattle historically has always been one of those teams in there, but you're right, took a step back, made the right moves, probably you could argue they were the most improved in the offseason in terms of the moves that they made than anybody in the league. And so that just makes the Western teams even more competitive. One thing you talked about, and I want to start with you again and get Megan's thoughts too. Here's where the popularity is that I saw complaints on social media this weekend that the Chicago Sky's preseason game was not televised. And I was telling my wife this, I said, here's how awesome this is. People are complaining, not that a regular season game, first off, you're looking for the games. Now you're looking for the preseason games.
Yeah, we want to see it. We need to see it.
Right.
No, it's really cool. And I love the fact that everyone's speaking up. If we want to see change, like the moment's here. If we want to capitalize on the moment, we have to turn from being that casual fan to a diehard fan and fight for these things that are just as little as a preseason game. Like, I want to see it. I want to know how they're doing and how Angel or Caitlin does in their first official game, in a sense, making their debut, and how they adjust from that. As a person who loves to just watch basketball, I want to see how they look from day 1 to day 50 to the end of the season. So I love the fact that everyone's speaking up on social media. That's why we have this platform. And if we have more of that, we can just continue to push the growth of the game.
And speaking of speaking up on social media, I believe the WNBA is now streaming more preseason games as a result of the outrage of everybody. So
correct.
you tweet out things and you never know who's going to actually listen and make a change with it. But to that point, the fact that we used to say any news is good news, like you never have bad news. But at this point, like, people are talking about women's basketball, whether it's good or bad. It is a constant conversation being had right now, and it's an ongoing dialogue, and it hasn't died down since the NCAA tournament ended a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's all pointing in the right direction. And I'm so excited to bring new faces to the WNBA because people do not realize how talented these women are at this level. Brittany Griner is unguardable. Skylar Diggins-Smith, I played against her in college, the best player I ever played against. And she continues to be one of the dominant guards in this league. And also, these are women who are having babies and then coming back and playing in the WNBA. These women are amazing. And I'm just so excited that a whole new fan base is going to have access to some of the incredible, not just players, but people that we're going to be seeing.
And I think talking to the two of you, that our listeners are going to get a big, hopefully they're excited as well, on top of what's already happened. We were already seeing the largest crowd ever for television audience for the women's championship game, South Carolina over Iowa. That was more than the men's. And so when you look at the attention, the record attendance, or the record of viewership for the WNBA draft, we're seeing in some of the arenas are moving up to the larger arenas to accommodate all the ticket requests and the demand for it. It's so exciting. And so again, the three of us, cannot wait to get there for Friday, May 17th, 7 p.m. Eastern time on ION. It is right there. Listen, ION is the most widely distributed network outside of the Big Four. So don't think you can't find it. It is right there. And we will be there every single weekend, every Friday night, to bring that to you. Meghan McKeown and Autumn Johnson, appreciate you guys joining us on here. I can't wait to see you in Atlanta next Friday.
Let's do it. Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
Awesome. Thanks so much. And by the way, we will give you guys a little bit of a hint that if you don't know, and those of you who follow Autumn, you already know she's a big sneakerhead. So a little hint to watch for: Autumn and Meghan have already rubbed off on me in terms of the sneaker game. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's coming. Sturdy's going to make fun of me. I know. But when in Rome, I know. All right.
We have them in great hands.
That's right. That's right. I have total faith in both of you.
And if you look good, Autumn's going to officially launch her new styling services.
Just saying.
There you go. Hey, dads, up your shoe game right now. Look at me right now. Meghan, Autumn, thanks so much. And we'll talk to you next week. And again, everyone join us on ION Friday nights for the WNBA. We've got much more to come after this. Stay with us.